What's up? Welcome back to Redheaded Stepchild, episode 3. Today we have our guest Saku Yanagawa.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So, you first came to America to play baseball, correct?
Yeah, in 2013.
How old were you then?
I was 21.
21. You came here to play baseball. Was it like with the hope of like signing with like a minor league team or a major league
Yeah.
team, or were you like scouted from over there to come here?
Some people tried to scout me
Mhm.
when I was in Japan,
Yeah,
but I couldn't make it. So, I came here to,
to try here.
yeah. So,
Did you end up playing here at all, or did you just start getting into comedy?
I went back to Japan.
Oh, okay, you went back to Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
For college, and
Okay.
my major is music and drama. So
Really?
I spent so much money for bullshit.
I also went to a school for music. What did you study for music?
It's more like an academic way. For example, like Cole Porter, George Gershwin.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
was
so
it like
history,
music
like-
theory or
Yeah,
like
music theory, also
okay.
like history. Yeah, so
music theory and history?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I majored in basically minstrel.
Did you play an instrument?
Yeah, piano and the guitar.
Okay.
And the banjo. Probably I'm the only Asian boy who played the banjo. at that
Plays a
time.
banjo? Yeah, that's you would be the first one I've ever met. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you just grow up playing baseball?
Mhm. Yeah.
What position do you play?
Shortstop all the time because my father was a kind of famous baseball coach back in Japan.
Oh, really?
Japanese high school baseball.
Okay.
It's so intense over there, like college football.
Okay.
Yeah, it's broadcast.
Really? So
Broadcast it
like
out,
high
yeah.
school baseball is like big, like a big
So
thing
big.
over there.
Yeah, some people bet money. So
Yeah.
definitely it's illegal. But
Yeah.
when I hit the home run in important game,
Yeah.
so much rice got sent to my
That's what they do when you do well. They
Yeah.
send you some rice.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that. Like, cause I know like
Mhm.
I only know baseball culture here, right? Like I guess like in like Mexico or the Dominican, like I'm familiar with it a
Mhm.
little bit, but like you grow up here, you play little league, maybe you play on the high school team. If you're good, you go on like a traveling team, and then you can play in college or get into a minor league team. Like, how does it work over there? Like, I know baseball is like pretty huge over there,
Yeah.
also. But like, talk like, what's it like growing up? I know you got you came with your jersey, you're
We,
repping.
we defeated last year, right? World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I saw
The
that. Yeah,
final, yeah. But yeah, in Japan, basically, every single player should play for the high school baseball. Like each school has a great team,
Okay.
and like a national championship. Each prefecture has like championship,
Mm-hmm.
and they move to the like national championship held in one stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of high school baseball player aim to play that stadium called Koshien.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
so,
that one of the professional stadiums?
Yep.
Okay.
So my team, like Hanshin Tigers.
The
Yeah.
Tigers play there.
Tigers
Oh,
play,
I
yeah.
know the Tigers. Yeah.
So we basically played. We wanted to play there, and after that, some people go to professional directly, but some people go to college baseball. College baseball is really big as well.
Okay.
Actually, it's more. They have longer history than professional. Actually,
College baseball does
Yep.
because it didn't become like a professional sport
Yep,
until later on.
that's true. Directly from the U.S. United States came to. I mean, we imported baseball obviously from the
Sure.
U.S. in probably early 20th century. Early 20th century.
And that was you're talking more like high school, college. It wasn't a professional sport then.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Then yeah. So I think there's some MLB player come to Japan after kind of washed out.
Yeah.
Then they said Japanese big league is just between AAA and big league.
That's back then or now?
Yeah, I think now. In
Some of
terms
these
pitching,
players that
yeah.
are coming over here though
Yeah,
are
that's crazy. right?
dominating.
Yeah, especially pitchers.
Like even the Cubs, like that pitcher that we just got. What's his name?
Imanaga.
Yeah, Imanaga. Might be one of the best like hitters, like offensive players too, like on the Cubs when they get him.
Yeah. I mean, we almost signed with Shohei Ohtani, right?
That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Otani.
Shohei
Sorry,
Ohtani,
Otani.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one I'm talking about. He like is like
He's crazy.
he's
yeah.
crazy, and some of these guys are just like it reminds me almost of like in the NBA. It was just like the U.S. for a while, and then you started seeing like these like huge Eastern European players come out of like Serbia and like
Yeah.
Lithuania and shit, and you're like, oh, like whatever. And then all of a sudden, like you get like Jokic, and you're just like, holy shit! Like some of these guys are like dominating the
Mm-hmm.
NBA,
Yeah.
and I feel the same way about like Japanese baseball. So it became a professional sport later on, high school, college, pretty big. Um, what what like does everybody watch baseball? Is it like huge over there?
Yeah, I think I would say the biggest sport over there is baseball, but soccer is as big as baseball,
Okay,
especially like national game, for example, like World Cup,
okay,
because we've been playing since 1998 for the World Cup.
okay.
Yeah,
So you've been in contention for the World Cup since
yeah,
'98.
I spent so much money for betting.
Betting, yeah,
Yeah,
I
with
know,
my
dude.
friends. Yeah,
Yeah, it gets crazy.
yeah.
So, was the idea when you went to Japan,
Uh-huh.
like back to Japan in college? Did you want to play on the college team? Did you want to try and go pro, or were you kind of done with baseball at
Well,
that point?
yeah, I mean, I I had an injury for my elbow, so if I
Ah,
could play, I could play. But I didn't want to play, so but I was watching TV in my apartment
mhm.
when I was in college, which was about a Japanese stand-up comedian who performed in New York for 20 years. And
Oh wow,
I thought he was cool. I didn't know what stand-up comedy was at that time, but
yeah.
I just thought he was cool. So I flew to New York next day, skipping the class. That's how I became a
You just
comedian,
were like, let me
actually.
buy a flight,
Yeah.
and then you just what you did you find him, or did you just try
Yeah,
go to New York to try stand up
I
like an
met
open mic?
him in the first day, but also like I did a two open mics over there
Okay,
in Broadway Comedy Club, I guess. Then
yeah, I know Broadway.
yeah, then there was a visiting comedian from Chicago, and she was like, "Hey, you were so funny. Do you want to do morning open mic at the Second City tomorrow?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Then I flew to
So you
Chicago.
flew to
Yeah,
Chicago?
then I fell in love with Chicago.
Oh, so then you just dropped out of school and went to Chicago.
No, I mean I graduated from my university in Osaka.
Oh, so you
Osaka
went back
University. You
after
went
that.
back
Oh,
after that.
okay.
But at that time, I was dating a girl from Texas, so
Yeah.
I flew to Texas after Chicago,
Okay.
and I bombed in Dallas. And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I thought I have to quit.
Yeah.
But I went back to Japan and I wrote some material in English. That was my first experience.
Yeah.
Then I came back to Chicago and it was like 13 years ago. No,
Crazy. That was
12 years ago.
13
Yeah.
years ago.
12 years ago.
So
Yeah.
you've been here for 12 years now?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
But, sometimes back and forth
Sure.
until 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, you just didn't go back?
No,
or?
even before COVID.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, during COVID, I didn't want to go back to
Yeah,
Japan.
for sure.
Yeah.
So have you not been back since 2019?
I went back there, but not like permanently. Like
Oh, I
like
see.
a tour for once a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to visit.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, very cool. So baseball is probably the biggest sport in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
What about like is sumo big?
I mean, sumo wrestlers are big.
Yeah, I know.
Also, like sumo is big over there, especially older generation.
It's more of like
Yeah.
it's more of like the old people like it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
there's so many hardcore fans over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've recently started getting into sumo.
Yeah, because if you focus on watching it,
Yeah.
that's so fun. Probably.
It
But for
is.
example, if you know about like much about like wrestlers, each
Yeah.
wrestlers, and like they belong to like
Which
kinda-
stable?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
It is fun. I like. There's actually a bar near my house that does sumo nights. So right now it's the
Oh.
tournament, and like it was random. I was just in there one day, and all of a sudden everybody starts pounding on the table, and I was like, "What's going on?" And all the TVs turn on, and it's just sumo,
Oh wow.
and everybody starts screaming and yelling, and like I'm looking up the rules, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And I started going back there, and like everybody's just betting on sumo, like
Oh,
losing
wow.
their minds. It was really fun, and I started getting really into it.
I wanna go there. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take you
me
there. It's
Yeah,
fun, yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
It's
I wanna
it's a cool
report.
place.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, because there's so many friends who actually went to small game.
Yeah.
And everyone said it was really exciting
To go to what?
to go to like small
The actual match?
stadium. I don't know
Yeah.
how to say arena. I don't know.
Sure, yeah, I don't know what it is, yeah.
Because for example, like I don't know, like giant killing. Like for example, if the smaller one
Yeah.
defeated the big one,
Yeah.
people like throw the like a cushion. Yeah, it's like like it's like a booing or
Like an
something.
insult,
Yeah. Then everyone throw the like mat like cushion,
Yeah.
and it's flying everywhere.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
There was this little guy I was really into this year or last year. He was
Mm-hmm.
better last year, but he was like 5'2",
Oh
and
wow.
like maybe like 225, like big guy, but like going
Yeah.
against some guys who are like 400 or 500 pounds. And he was just dominating. It was so interesting because he has like such a low center of gravity compared to these big guys
Yeah.
that he would just kind of like move around and like knock him out of the ring. It was like really cool to watch this little guy just like crush him.
Oh wow. But
He,
there's some white guy as well.
I've seen the white guy too. Yeah, he's
From Europe, like Georgia. Yeah.
that's so interesting to me that like some guy was like, let me just, I love this. I'm gonna fly out there and I'm gonna like train and like get accepted into a stable, and this is gonna be my life.
There are two legendary Hawaiians too.
Hawaiians, I could see.
Americans, yeah.
Hawaiians are fucking big, dude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Polynesian dudes, like
Yeah.
don't fuck with the Samoan guy. Like they like have super strength.
They're Yokozuna, like I mean highest
Yo, I know,
ranking.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Oh, yeah.
Hawaiian guy became a Yokozuna.
Yeah, probably 25 years ago when I grew up.
Oh my
I
God.
watched it that these guys, compete each other.
Right now, there's two Yokozunas,
I
correct?
think so. Like
the
one is
first time
Japanese,
ever?
right? I don't. Yeah, no. Sometimes there's
Mm.
several yokozunas, and
Okay.
I don't know. Like some of them are Mongolian. Like Mongolians are
Yeah, there's
really
it's a big wrestling
competitive,
culture
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really great. In
Okay,
these
cool.
10 years, yeah.
So was sumo previously restricted to only Japanese, and now it's starting to become like other people? Because I feel like this is
Yeah.
new, like the Hawaiians and the Mongolians and the white guys.
Yeah, we love diversities, but yeah, but I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a newer thing. Interesting. That's
But
cool.
it's still like conservative Japanese people
Yeah.
don't cheer for like foreigners.
Yeah, for sure.
That sucks. Yeah, but
Well, they decided to go. I'd be interesting to see where sumo starts to go too. Like
uh
as more people like move, like try it out. Like
Mhm.
we got some Polynesian guys you mentioned, some Mongolians. Like
yeah,
get some like big motherfuckers out of like I don't know South America or like Africa going out there. Like you
Yeah.
get some like big fucking dudes.
it's
like,
gonna be national wrestling match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more like a traditional stuff. Yeah, like
Okay.
they throw the salt before the
Love it.
match,
Y-
right?
Oh, for the
yeah, they throw the salt before the match, but I didn't know why. But if you know the
I always thought it
details,
was
yeah,
sand. It's salt. Okay,
it's salt.
interesting.
If you know the details like history, it's gonna be fun. But I studied Gershwin instead of sumo, so
Gershwin, yeah.
yeah, so probably
It's so
I'm
funny you
Americanized
did
too
music,
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so like growing up in Japan, you first came here. What you said when you were 21 for
Yeah.
baseball originally. That was your first time here.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I could drink at that time
That's amazing.
legally. Yeah.
What's like some of the things, like the biggest things you've noticed between like growing up in Japan and like living here now for 12 years? Like, what are the biggest differences?
Ooh, the people, I don't know, like especially I don't know, like customer service is completely different.
Better or worse?
Uh, honestly, it's 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, because for example, when you got up on a taxi cab in Japan,
Mhm.
the drivers are so polite, and no one is allowed to play music
Oh, it's
in the
quiet.
car. Yeah,
Okay.
quiet. Um, also, like they ask me, do you know your favorite route?
Okay.
Yeah, would you mind fastening seat belt? Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Like it's so polite. But yeah, because in Japan, there's a proverb which is like customer is God.
Oh wow. So customer service sounds a
Yeah.
little bit better in Japan.
Yeah,
I don't, if the customer is God.
that's true. But when I came here, like every single Uber driver talked to their mom on the car.
Yeah, or you
Like,
get some guy doing another job while he's also
Yeah, yeah.
he's like coding for some tech company as he's like driving you around.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, like they talk about like the dinner menu, like a lasagna tonight, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They'll
I
just
got-
be like hanging out, having a chat. They're like, don't even say anything to you. You
I
get in the
don't-
car and it's silent.
I got shocked.
Yeah.
Also, like some of them were eating fried chicken on the car, like while driving.
Oh yeah, they eat, they do whatever the hell
Yeah.
they need to. Sometimes they like, yeah, it's crazy. They don't give a shit that you're in there.
Yeah, steering wheel was so sticky, yeah, so greasy. I got shocked. But at the same time, when I went back to Japan, actually last week, I talked to my driver. Yeah, you don't have to be too polite, right? Because we're like friends
Yeah.
right now, so you don't have to be really polite. And he changed his attitude, and he talked so frankly. He talked to me like so
Yeah.
casually, and he changed drastically.
So you basically opened it
Yeah.
up to be like, hey,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could hang out. We don't have to. You don't have to just sit in silence.
He
And he
finally
was like, yeah.
released him. Now-
He was like, I've been waiting to talk to somebody for 3 years.
yeah,
Nobody's spoken to me.
he became atheist.
So I mean, it must be shocking because I mean, like if the customer's God in Japan, when you call the cable company here and they're like, and they're like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's the biggest difference. Also, train system is so
It's old here.
different. I mean,
Yeah.
also like here, because I'm from Osaka area. Like Osaka City is actually a sister city of Chicago. The population is almost the same.
Is that what? Okay.
So it means like the taxes, the amount of tax money is the same here as Osaka, right?
Meaning because it's like a similar population, so like
Yeah.
the infrastructure gets the same amount
Right?
allocated or should.
We have like a CTA of Osaka City.
Sure.
It's so much better.
I
No
know.
one smokes weed on the train. No one jack off to me on the train.
I was gonna say I don't care about the people smoking weed. I care about the guy in the red line who starts jacking off on
Oh.
the train.
I'm proud of myself.
Or the guy who just pisses on a seat. Yeah, the red line's fucking crazy. But that shit doesn't happen in Japan, does it?
No, even blue line never exists in Japan. I'm proud of myself. I became a Chicagoan finally, I feel like, because every single train, I got jacked off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Good for
blue, blue, even pink.
Yeah, he blew his load on you.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have bullet trains in Osaka, right?
That's amazing, yeah.
How like where do you go? How fast does it go? I've never.
For
been on
example,
one.
like I don't know how to say but for example, from LA to San Francisco, it takes 8 hours drive, right?
Yeah, I've done
Same
the
as
drive.
Tokyo to Osaka.
Yeah,
It takes two and a half hours.
that's insane.
I
On the
was like,
bullet train,
Yeah, so comfortable.
is that the one that like floats on
No,
like
no,
the
no, no,
liquid
no.
nitrogen?
It's called linear motor car, linear.
Okay,
But we don't. I mean, we're still improving, and
that's
I
insane.
haven't. Yeah, but yeah, bullet train is really great.
Speaking of the transit system, I saw the most interesting thing. It was I guess the guy he was like a Japanese civil engineer, and he helped design, I don't know what city, but the transit system for,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, let's just say Tokyo or something.
Uh-huh.
But how he did it was very cool. So like everybody's like filling out, like trying to figure out the best way to do it. He found out that fungus,
Huh?
like mushrooms,
Yeah.
like if you let the fungus like spread, it will find the shortest routes between two things.
Oh,
So
wow.
it basically created this like map,
Oh wow.
and that became the design for the train system.
Wow, it's so smart.
It's so smart because he was like, I think he said he was like out in nature one day and he was like watching like the fungus connect tree to tree,
Oh wow.
and it like found
Okay.
like these like super efficient routes that like. He's like the fastest way is not a straight line, especially if you get it like around things. But the fungus will find the most efficient way, and all of a sudden they designed the trains based on it. It was so interesting.
Was he on shroom at that time?
Probably, dude loves mushrooms.
Oh, but in terms of like I don't know,
Inventions.
inventions, yeah. Japanese toilet system is really great. Cool. Yeah, right.
I used one of the nice Toto Japanese toilets.
It's called a bidet in the
Unreal,
States, right?
Well, Toto was the brand.
Total,
but
yeah, total, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's called a bidet. here.
Bidet, right? But actually, in Japan, we don't call it bidet. We just call it washlet. Washlet is for our butthole.
Yeah, yeah, I know what it's
as
for.
But we have bidet in Japan. But bidet is especially for vagina, actually.
Ah,
Only for women. So when we call it bidet, it means for women
interesting.
after pee.
So you use the washlet.
Yeah,
the
I've
women
never
use
used
the bidet.
True.
But so it's not the same thing. They're both not on the toilet.
We have like a two like splash.
One
like,
shoots from the front. One
yeah,
shoots from the back.
That's true. Then that's a true story. The scientist or like engineer of bidet went to strip club to observe female's vagina. That's true story.
He went. He
They went to
the
strip
Japanese
club.
inventor of
Yeah.
the bidet.
bidet went to strip club to observe carefully.
Really?
It seems like they
We
haven't
got to do
seen
some
vagina.
research,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Go get me some singles. We're gonna do some research tonight.
yeah.
Justin
Yeah.
loves research.
That's true story.
That's
I
crazy.
got shocked when I read the story. I
What
was
year was this?
like back in 80s for sure.
Okay, so he couldn't go on the internet and look some stuff up. Also,
Yeah.
who is this man that's never seen a vagina?
Yeah, seems like he was a virgin.
Yeah,
Or he was a Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just some like 19-year-old college kid working on an assignment. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we need to do some research.
But he must be a billionaire right now.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy. So do you have a Japanese toilet at home or just a
Yeah,
regular
we
one?
do.
Yeah.
I do have, but yeah.
Does it sing to you?
Well, I try not to.
Shit.
Yeah. No. Plus, I try not to get used to it too much.
Oh, you don't
Because
want
I've
the
been living in a
luxury?
state. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So.
You don't want to spoil yourself.
No.
I could imagine like needing it after a while, like
Yeah.
it'd just be like it's not my toilet's not singing.
Mm.
And it like blows like hot air at your
Oh,
asshole
yeah?
to dry it off. It's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like usually for females' bathroom,
Uh-huh.
they have like a system which play the song when they pee.
Oh, so you don't hear them.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Wow, I wonder if he discovered that at the strip club too.
Also, I want to be hired. I want to be hired as a get banjo player. Like out of the room. If they ask me, I play the song.
That would be so funny if like a girl sat down and
Yeah.
played some twangy banjo kind of like ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
ding,
yeah,
ding.
yeah. I don't have to be in only females' bathroom. Like
Yeah.
even men's bathroom. If they ask me to,
Yeah.
yeah,
If
play.
yeah.
I can do it. Yeah.
It's like the Japanese version of like the toilet attendant here, the guy who like
Yeah.
hands you the towel and tries to get $1.
Yeah.
You like listen for people to start going and you just start playing.
Toilet banjo player. Yeah.
Number 1 or number 2? we doing a full song? What are we doing? We doing the album?
Yeah.
So okay, so very cool. I'm very interested in Japanese toilets. I'm a big fan. One of the other things about Japan that's always interested me as well, and I don't know much about it. I've watched a lot of like documentaries and stuff, but like Yakuza culture,
Oh wow.
I've thought is super interesting. Just like this whole like, and it sounds like, well, they say it's kind of going away, but I wonder if that's just like they said here the mob's going away for years, but they still exist. You
Yeah.
just don't see them, which is more so I think how it was intended to be. Like things got very loud in like the 80s. Like you'd hear people
Oh, wow.
like you know what I mean? Like you hear all these stories about like John Gotti and like all these guys like running around town like flashing money and like
Yeah.
all this stuff. And now it's quiet again, which
Oh, wow.
seems like it's probably better for business. But like is it like a dying culture or is it still pretty active there?
I must say it's active,
Mhm.
but as you said, same. I think same as America. When we walk down the street, it's kind of we hardly see them probably.
Okay.
Especially,
Would you know if you saw them? Like I mean, yeah.
yeah. But like stereotypical Yakuza wear like colorful suits
Yeah.
and like tattooed up arms.
Don't they have to cover the tattoos or they don't care?
They don't care basically,
Okay.
especially in their like district, right?
So if they run shit, they've got like some police on the payroll too anyway,
Yeah.
probably, so they're just fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think in these 10 years, I would say 15 years, for example, some restaurants said no Yakuza, right?
Really?
Yeah, so they shut down for them.
Uh-huh.
They shut down the door for them.
They won't let them in.
Exactly. So
I'd be scared to not let them in.
yeah, right?
I feel like that's like asking for trouble.
Yeah, but we have a new term like economy Yakuza. You know what I'm talking about? Like, for example, they're hackers.
Right, it's more cyber.
Yeah. Which is more like, which makes them richer, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, but in Japan, guns not even popular, right? And only few people have guns.
When you say not popular because they're hard
mean,
to get or
Hard to get.
okay.
Also, like no one cares.
No one cares?
No one. I mean, no one wants to have it.
Oh, because is it because like the punishment for having a gun is so great or like it's just not like cool to have one?
I mean, we didn't have any idea how to deal with it.
Okay.
So I've never even imagined to get gun. I've never had gun right now, but
Yeah.
But I
Like in
don't know.
Japan, like it's what happens if you get caught with a gun? Do the police carry a gun?
Yeah,
The
but
police do.
I have so many police friends,
Uh-huh.
but everyone said they've never shot the gun after training.
Really?
No, yeah,
That's crazy.
just judo technique.
Yeah.
Judo, yeah, yeah, yeah. It seems like American police learned WWE technique
Yeah,
instead of judo, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, also, I think the difference is you just said like a lot of people in Japan don't have guns,
No.
so no one's ever gonna be in a position like in a shootout situation.
Yeah, so that's why, for example, like if I put my hand in my pocket in America,
right.
they shoot me, right?
It looks like it's like what's he grabbing? We don't know.
Right?
In Japan, there's no.
It just, itchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going
My
for
armpit
cigarettes.
is itchy, yeah. They give me probably deodorant.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the punishment if you get caught with a firearm?
Oh, probably just, just, I don't know, like less than 1 year.
So it's not even a bad punishment. It's just
No,
it's
big,
just
not big. Yeah.
hard to get.
If you shut the gun to people,
Yeah.
probably it's gonna be worse.
Sure, I just mean like cop stops you. They're like, shit, you have a gun.
Oh, definitely will be caught.
Yeah.
And punishment will be, but it's not like death penalty. Or
It's not like
something.
life in prison.
No, no, no.
Okay, so it's just guns aren't cool.
Yeah, same as like knife.
Knives aren't cool, or they are cool.
No.
What weapons do people use in Japan? Then?
I mean, knives. The worst. I mean,
yeah.
many people got killed by knives.
Okay.
This is the most, I don't know, dangerous item.
Yeah. Is that what
So
like the
if you-
Yakuzas walk around with? They walk around with like big knives.
Yeah, they do knife fighting
Okay.
more. Like
That's
yeah,
terrifying.
right?
I would rather. I don't want to be in either, but I would rather be in a gunfight than a knife fight. You got to get real up close and personal, and like
Yeah.
everybody's getting cut. You know what I mean? It's not like you're gonna like you can dodge everything and like be really efficient. Like
Yeah,
you're probably gonna get cut a couple times. It should probably hurts.
that's true. That's why I always carry samurai sword.
Yeah.
No, I've never even touched.
Does anybody do like any Yakuza guys just walk around with like a fucking samurai sword on their hip?
Actually, some like traditional Yakuza
Yeah.
has samurai sword in their house. Then they show off like
Oh really? Like the
both-
real old
yeah,
ancient
yeah.
ones? Those are cool.
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
So like and the tattoo ban, is that like cultural or is that because of the Yakuza?
Traditionally, it's definitely because of Yakuza.
Okay.
Because traditionally, having tattoo means joining Yakuza, which means saying goodbye to the mom's world, the like real world.
Okay. You're now you live in
Once
the
you
Yakuza.
enter Yakuza, it means they cannot even go back to the family.
Okay.
They cannot even go back to like real world.
Okay, so it's like crossing over.
Yeah.
And the tattoo is symbolic of
Yeah,
that.
the sign, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why, for example, like we cannot even go to public bath, public
Interesting.
bathing.
Yeah.
They always say no tattoo
Okay.
except for foreigners.
Right, because it means yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know like I have friends who go and visit Japan sometimes, like, and they'll have like full sleeves on their arms, long sleeves all day, or like they'll like put like makeup on their arm to make it go away for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they don't want any trouble.
Yeah, no one cares. If you look white.
Okay,
I mean,
interesting.
yeah. I'm kind of kidding, but that's true. Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah.
Well, I would
mean,
imagine like it would have to be a little bit more forgiving in the sense that like it doesn't mean that like here. You know, like when we get tattoos, it doesn't necessarily mean like you're a Yakuza member. But I could see like people not knowing that in Japan. Like they'd be like, I don't know anything about what people do in Sweden.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So we respect other people's culture,
Yeah.
basically.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
One thing that's always fascinated me about Yakuza culture is just like the dedication. Like, I
Yeah.
think you were talking about it a little bit when you're talking like you get the tattoo, but like some of like the punishments, like if you fail, like is this real where some people like will cut off part of their finger?
Yep.
That's crazy.
For example, when you want to leave
Yeah.
Yakuza, right? When you want to quit,
Yeah.
you have to leave your finger.
So the whole thing, or they do it like right here?
Depends.
It depends how
Yeah.
who you were and like why you're leaving.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
What happens? Like, okay, leaving, I get
Uh-huh.
like big deal, but like, Like, do they do it for like failing a mission or like not doing anything?
Just one part.
Just that's just one
Yeah,
part of the
yeah.
finger. It
So that's
feels equally as painful though to just.
yeah. I've seen like they have no like like top fingers.
It's not a very good Yakuza
Five.
member
Yeah,
then. Yeah,
probably
he fucked up.
he fucked up many times. Yeah.
That's crazy. And the craziest part to me is that they have to do it to themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
As far as I know from the movies, like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
probably share the same movies, probably.
Yeah, well, I see it in the movies, and I
Yeah.
wonder like, are people doing that? Like, you've met people on the street or seen them like walking around like with some
Yep.
nubs. Ooh,
Yep.
wow,
We play baseball together.
really?
Yeah, he used to be Yakuza, and then we played baseball, but he was good at defense, so
Yeah,
that's
probably.
fine. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
I
a little bit
I got
impaired
amazed.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. People adapt. I've met people who do crazy things. I was in Nepal, and there was this kid who was born with no arms, and he could like write and draw amazing
Yeah,
with his feet.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like you see
Right.
people like how they adapt, and like
Mhm.
he like was doing things I can't even do with hands, and
I adapt English to do comedy.
yeah, I mean that's amazing
Yeah,
too.
that's also a crazy thing.
Did you learn like English in Japan in school, or like only when you came here?
Actually, in Japan, English is like, required
It
for
is.
everybody since junior high school for
Okay.
6 years until high school. Then basically, so I had to do English. Also, I had to cram for entrance exam for university.
Interesting.
But it's almost like it's all about reading and writing.
English.
Yeah. So when you go to Japan and when you get lost, you can talk to Japanese people, and some people understand English well. But if you write it down, most people understand.
So it's more common for people in Japan to understand it via writing than
So
speaking.
we can read.
You
well.
can read it. Okay.
Yeah. For example, in high school,
Mm-hmm.
we for example read like Forbes and Nature, like these
Oh,
kind of
wow.
like a difficult shit. But
Yeah.
we understood. But we're not just good at talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is business done all in Japanese? Like when you guys like, I assume like you guys, everybody speaks Japanese. Like,
Mhm.
well, why are you guys learning English? Just because a lot of things are done in English?
I think so.
Okay.
Or we lost the World War II.
You guys are gonna learn English now.
Yes. Because, I mean, older generation had to learn German.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, for example, doctors,
Mhm.
medical doctors, had to learn German before World War II.
Prior to World War II.
Yeah.
And this was because like Japan and Germany were kind of like
Kinda, yeah,
becoming
company,
allies
yeah,
at
yeah,
that point.
Yep.
That's interesting. So you guys they were learning German, and then post World War II they were learning English.
Yeah, they came.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's very crazy.
But that was a crazy story. I mean, America came to Japan after World War II, right?
Yes.
Then yeah, but we basically lost, and but I mean we not basically we lost, but we forgave American people quickly just because they gave us chocolate and caramel.
Really?
We were so
A little bit
poor.
of a bribe.
Yeah, we were so poor that we couldn't get any like sugar stuff.
Interesting. So I mean,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that for a second. So like you said, you forgave Japanese people forgave American people rather quickly after World War II.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean in terms of like time? Like what's quick? Like 5,
Like-
10, 15, 20, 30 years?
Like 1 year later.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we tried to import American culture a lot
Okay.
right after World War II. So like jazz, jazz came to Japan even in 30s though.
I love
Yeah,
Japanese jazz.
that's
It's
cool,
so
right?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love jazz, and yeah, but yeah, like even baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball came to Japan even before World War II, but we started even like Milton
Milton Berle.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show.
Oh, I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy. Yeah.
Amazing. So
we imported also, like we created like Japanese style of like these variety shows on TV in
interesting.
50s.
And so this was post World War II. Do you think it had something? Was there just a market for it? Like, was there money to be made, or was it more so like, post World War II, like this is like the world we're gonna live in now. We want to be more like this.
Yeah, we wanted kind of that lifestyle of America
Okay.
at that time. Like it means like rich and rich with culture, rich with
What people thought it was, not
yeah,
necessarily what it
yeah.
really was. Yeah.
Yeah, for example, like we watched the TV in
Yeah.
50s, like American show.
You'd watch I Love Lucy,
Yeah,
that people would see like the big bands and
that's
the
true.
jazz and all that kind of stuff, and it
And
became part of
Honey,
it.
I'm Home stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We love that. We love that shit.
So I just find that so interesting. So like you mentioned, like Japan at that time was so poor that like
Hmm.
you guys were happy to like get something, and it became more of a forgiving world in that sense.
Hmm.
Was Japan poor because of the war at that time? Like
Yeah,
everything just went into the war, and it was like all efforts into the
yeah,
war.
yeah. We focused on war, so we had a slogan,
Yeah.
which is like luxury. Being luxury is enemy.
So no luxuries.
No luxury.
Okay, yeah. If you're a patriot, you're gonna starve, and all the money's gonna go to the
Yeah,
war.
that was our motto. That was our
Interesting.
slogan. That's why uh, America during World War II looks so different to Japanese people at that time.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah,
looked like wealth. It looked like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
look
yeah,
at these guys. That's crazy.
yeah.
It's interesting because I like World War II and World War II
Hmm.
history, but that's one aspect of it I've never known. Like inside of Japan at that time, like what was going on. Like,
Hmm.
and so everybody was super poor. Everybody was like, for the most part, not
Hmm.
everybody, but most people were super poor. Like everything's dedicated to the war. Like, did every family have like family members fighting in the war?
Yeah,
Like, was it like military age men, or were they taking like young people, old people too? Everybody?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Japan. And when you go to the army,
Yeah.
you had to say, "I'm gonna die for emperor,"
Yeah.
and this is like a fame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so.
I watched a bunch of, or I had a phase where I would watch a bunch of old samurai movies,
Hmm.
but from like the 30s and 40s,
Mm,
and I was looking. They were talking about like the history of them, right?
yeah.
And they would try and bring back like the idea of like honor and like
Mm.
harakiri
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and all this stuff, because they were trying to create propaganda that like if you're Japanese and you fight, like it's better to kill yourself
That's true. Yeah.
than to. And it was just so interesting because like we think about it in terms of like samurai culture in like the 1600s to like
Hmm.
the 1800s, but like it was pretty prevalent, but the movies made it seem like that was all there was, because they were
Hmm.
like, this is the mentality we want for our soldiers.
Hmm.
Similar to how like in Germany they had like the what was it called? What is the Hitler Youth? The Hitler
Mm.
Youth camps. And like if you live in Germany, you just thought it was normal from the age of like 9 to 18.
Oh wow.
They're like, we don't care about school, but you're gonna learn to live off the land and like shoot guns, you know?
Ooh.
It's like all these things. And like in America they had like uh, everybody would go like and fight, and like it was kind of like you were shamed a little bit, I think,
Hmm.
if you didn't go, or like you had a desk job or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like everybody has these like individual like kind of like propaganda things, like we had like like all those like things like you got to help out, and like all the women who went to work in like factories and
Factory.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just it's interesting, like everybody's
It's
got a
crazy
different
time, right?
crazy time. It's cool history though.
Yeah, because my grandpa
Hmm.
actually is from Hiroshima.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so actually he lost all of his family because of atomic bomb.
Was he fighting at the time, so he wasn't home?
He was fighting at that time, so
He was
he
fighting.
was in the boat.
Oh, so was he in the Navy?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he didn't know what was happening, so he went back to Hiroshima,
Holy
and
shit.
he realized, oh wow,
There's no more Hiroshima.
yeah, that's why that's why when I said I was going to America,
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, that's why his reaction. But yeah,
That generation probably didn't forgive.
but actually, yeah, he was a successful writer. Actually,
He was a what?
writer,
Okay.
successful writer back in Japan.
Okay.
Then
Like he for a newspaper, like novels.
novels, yeah,
Interesting.
and poet.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
he loved American culture for sure because he said his favorite writer was Hemingway.
This was this is how he felt probably pre-World War II though, like pre the
Yeah.
war, like Hemingway's 1800. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, when I said I'm going to Chicago, he was like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, that's good," because Hemingway's from Chicago.
yeah.
Yeah, so he forgave me too. Yeah, easily.
He was like, "All right, if you go to Chicago, we're good, but don't you go near New York."
Yeah, but that was an interesting story. Yeah.
That's so cool. So your grandpa was in the Navy,
Hmm.
and yeah, was there just no communication? Like they didn't want to tell the soldiers, like
No,
for
he said
morale, they
no.
were like, "Hey, we're still fighting.
Yeah.
Don't make them, don't like upset them. Like
Hmm.
don't tell them their whole family's dead. Like just."
Yeah.
And so like this was how, when did he come back? Months later.
Actually, right after World War II, because right
So
after
after
the
the
yeah.
surrender happened, then they were like, "All right, go home."
Yeah, yeah.
And he didn't know what to expect. He knew
Yeah.
nothing, and he just showed up and
Yeah, because he was a
crazy.
college kid at that time.
Right? Yeah, he
So
would have been pretty young. I
he
forget.
wanted to go
Yeah.
back to his school,
Oh God.
but it was gone.
Oh my
But yeah,
God.
he got a credit easily. So
What do you? Yeah,
he got a
He
degree
passed,
easily. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I graduated with honors. You could ask the school.
Yeah, University of Hiroshima. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he was great. Yeah.
That's crazy. So I mean, like, what did he do? Like, he comes home, no
He-
one's there. Like,
then
what do you do?
But he became a writer easily.
Well, I know he became like.
Yeah.
I mean, like he
Because
must.
he started writing professionally since
Yeah.
then. Yeah. Then
Okay.
he published and he published like two like poetries.
Yeah.
Then it was like a big hit at that time.
Okay.
Then
Poetry is very big in Japan too, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but it's kind of different style.
Yeah, I've heard some of it. I don't the only the only intro to Japanese poetry I've had is like watching old movies. Like a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
times, like in the brothels, like women will like recite poetry and
Oh
like they
yeah.
like it. Like that's all I know. I don't know if that's a real thing.
Yeah, that was real. And we have a haiku. It's like 3-line poems.
Yeah, I know the haiku.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then we also have tanka.
5 syllables, 7 syllables.
Yeah,
five-
yeah, yeah. Then we have tanka. 575.
yeah.
Yeah. 77.
Yeah, it's like crazy. It's like
Yeah.
it's like art how they have to like fit it all in together.
Yeah. That's why it's like hip hop. Live. Right? And 5 lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably if my grandpa was like my age,
Yeah.
he became a really great rapper. I guess.
Yeah, that was the 1960s version of that. Like, this guy's a pretty good poet. Yeah,
Gangster.
yeah. Was your grandpa a gangster? Or you're just using that as an yeah? Okay.
He was but my like mother side
Yeah,
grandpa was a gangster.
like Yakuza gangster.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay,
Because architect company, like
that's what it was called.
like architecture, like
Oh,
he
okay.
built buildings.
Okay,
It means he had to have a connection with Yakuza at that time.
meaning that was like a code word they all use, or like if you wanted a big job, you needed to like be in on the.
I mean, for
something.
example, like if when he built the building,
Yeah.
it means he had to talk to the owner of the land.
Interesting, and everything is like controlled by the district, so somebody
Kind of,
owns
yeah.
it. So he'd have to like he wasn't like a tatted up knife fighting guy, more so he just like had to have these connections,
Meet and greet.
meet and greet. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, at that time, until probably I would say 90s, if you open up a restaurant,
Yeah,
in the first day, like opening day, probably Yakuza guy comes to your place and have you pay. to
shakes you
them.
down.
Yep.
That's crazy. So everything was
But yeah,
done through them for the
but
most part.
protected.
Was it actual protection, or was it like pay me no matter what, or
Both actually.
little
For
bit of
example, like in some trouble, if some trouble happened, he's gonna come and deal with it, and, like fixed it,
so they will actually provide a service?
kind of. Yeah.
Okay,
But
but also if you can't pay for a
Yeah.
while, they're gonna shut down your restaurant and maybe break your legs.
kind of, yeah, with knife.
So it's a risk to go into business at all.
Yeah, but it changed. That's why the business has changed.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So, because my grandfather, he ran in the 70s and 80s, and I mean up until a few years ago, all like these like video poker machines and jukeboxes and like
Cool.
video games in Chicago. Like he would have routes, and it was a similar situation. Like I mean, like video poker was illegal for a while, but like
Oh,
they would like put him in the back rooms of bars. Like you couldn't gamble. They put him in the back rooms of bars, or they would. It's just like a big cash business,
uh huh.
right? So people would come, like protect the money, and like like this whole world around it. Like he was. I don't think he was like involved in it, but like the people who own these bars, the people who hang out at these bars, like
Yeah.
he's loaning them money and all, like to stay in business. Like the bar owner's like, hey, I don't have this. He's like, okay, we'll add it to the tab. Just similar stuff like that, where it's like if you wanted to operate in that world,
Mm-hmm.
you needed to essentially know people.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who they are and
So he was an architect.
yeah.
Okay, very cool. Um, super interesting. All right, couple questions for
Mm-hmm.
you. Let's see where we're at in time. Oh, we're good. All right, we're cruising. All right, we're almost done.
Mm-hmm.
But like in terms of like Chicago, you've traveled all over like the
Mm-hmm.
US for the most part. In terms of Chicago, like good Japanese food, bad Japanese food,
Hmm.
average.
Honestly, really great. But Chicago, right?
Yeah.
There's so many great Japanese restaurants in suburb.
In the suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like Japanese people who say that I'm from Chicago. I used to live in Chicago,
Yeah.
but they actually lived in Arlington Heights or
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's a big thing
don't say
just in
that.
the
Don't say
area.
that,
Yeah.
right? But honestly, like there's so many the big Japanese population in Arlington Heights and Schaumburg.
Yeah, there's a bunch of markets over there.
Yeah.
You ever been to Mitsuwa?
Mitsuwa, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why there are a lot of great restaurants in suburb.
Mm-hmm.
So which is really great compared to other American
Cities?
cities. Yeah, I mean LA has so many great Japanese restaurants.
Yeah.
San Francisco as well, New York as well. But I think Chicago has really great Japanese restaurants as well. But in terms of downtown, I only have one favorite. That's it.
Is it Kokoro?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh.
told me about Kokoro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Kokoro,
I
yeah.
love Kokoro.
That's
So I
good,
actually live close to there.
Oh wow.
So I'm always ordering in from
You
there.
live there? Wow. You're
Yeah.
yuppie.
I'm a yuppie. I know. I
Oh.
know. I sold out to have a pool.
That's good.
Yeah,
Wow.
the pool's nice. But yeah, I love Kokoro. Is that the one you'd mention?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What
but
about bars?
bars in Chicago, like Japanese bar.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a one bar called Murasaki. It's in the downtown as well. It's really close to Northwestern Hospital.
Oh, it's over there. Okay.
Yeah. That's really great.
Okay.
But they made me bankrupt easily.
It's expensive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it means just I don't have money, so yeah. But it's good. It's a great place. Yeah.
There's one like what's a charcoal bar?
Chocolate bar.
Charcoal.
Charcoal. What is?
Have you ever heard of a charcoal bar?
Yeah, I know charcoal, but what is? I don't know, like charcoal.
Oh, okay.
bar,
Yeah, there was a
Kumiko.
yeah.
Kumiko.
Yeah.
It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
it's-
call it a charcoal bar, and I
Oh,
don't know
really?
why. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Julia, the owner,
yeah.
is from my hometown. So.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she's a great person.
Kumiko's great, the good.
Kumiko is great. Yeah.
I'm just curious, and like in terms of like, do we have good ramen in Chicago?
There are a lot.
Yeah. What's like your top?
Ooh, it's in Chicago City, right?
Yeah, I mean, you give me both suburbs and city.
Ooh, Chicago ramen is in suburb. That's my favorite, actually. Chicago ramen.
It's called Chicago ramen.
Chicago ramen. It's
What
bullshit,
suburb is it in?
though. Ooh, it's like close to Mount Prospect, I guess.
Oh, over there. Okay,
Over there, yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's the best one.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Also, Shinchan ramen is great, and Banai is also great. Like, there's so many choices in suburb,
Yeah.
but downtown wise, I don't know. Furious Spoon is gone.
Is it gone?
It was really close to my place, and it was like hip hop ramen.
Yeah, I've been to Furious Spoon
That
because
was
I feel like we just have a lot of
interesting, yeah.
chain ramen
Yeah, yeah,
places.
yeah.
Like they have like Furious Spoon and like Ramen San and like I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
if like you consider those good.
Yeah, no comment. Yeah. But actually, I forgot. But there, new one was opened in Uptown.
Okay,
Yeah, that was really great actually. Yeah,
in Uptown, it's a good one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have to get me the name. I want to try it.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, close to Green Mill.
Oh, right over
River
there.
Talks
Oh
Lounge,
yeah, do
yeah.
paper machete and bounce
Yeah,
over
yeah,
for some
yeah.
ramen.
Let's go. Yeah.
I recently waited to go to High Five Ramen.
Oh, like we have to sign up for like and wait for 2 hours, right?
Yeah, and
Then
I
there was a steak like a barbecue place,
yes.
right? And I became full all the time.
Well, I wanted to try it because I was
That's
like,
good.
"Is it worth the wait?" I thought it was decent, but it wasn't like 2 hour wait good.
Yeah, but for experience, it's good.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
I'm not doing it again. So that's like I ask people like, what do you like? And they're
Oh,
like, oh, I love High Five Ramen. I'm like, it's okay, but like I just was curious, like as somebody who grew up eating ramen or like has like a more knowledge of it, where you go.
honestly, like waiting is fine because I did it 5 times.
I don't mind the wait. Well, what's nice about the wait is they text you, and
Hmm.
you could just go to a bar and hang
Yeah.
out for an hour and a half.
Then I got fucked up, while I was
Well,
waiting.
then you get hungry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But the thing is, every single ramen shop in this country is overpriced for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because in Japan, just $5 without tip. I mean, we don't have to tip.
There's tipping culture doesn't exist there.
Like, yeah, there's no tip fatigue as well.
There's no
We
what,
don't have
tip
tip
fatigue.
fatigue. Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have to be tired. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just don't have to pay. And yeah, so like $5 makes me like satisfied.
Okay.
Five bucks ramen is perfect.
It's minimum about 20 here.
right.
Or
That's
it's like
crazy.
$18. Then if you want like an extra egg, it's like $22 already.
Right,
Yeah.
I can buy like instant noodle
Yeah.
and cook it by myself in my place. Like it's better.
For three. Yeah. It's not that different all the time. Sometimes I wonder if they just take the instant noodle
Yeah.
and then put some like chives and shit on the top so it looks
Yeah,
fresh.
that's better, right?
Yeah.
That's why I don't know. With my Japanese friends, we don't want to go to ramen restaurant in
Right. I
Japan.
get that too. Yeah. If I went to, yeah. Where do you guys go? You just, wherever's good.
Timothy O'Toole.
Timothy O'Toole. Yeah. You're like, let me get some fucking wings and a
Yeah,
burger. Yeah.
that's better. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, if I'm living in Japan, I don't want to go get cheeseburgers and like
Right?
wings all the time.
But
Once in a while, but I'd be like, this fucking place is great over here.
you should come to Japanese McDonald's.
Ooh,
Much better.
talk to me about Japanese McDonald's. Saku.
People go there. I mean, for example, like
You mean in Japan? We don't have a Japanese McDonald's in here, do we?
yeah, we have teriyaki mac chicken.
Teriyaki McChicken.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right? That tastes so good.
I bet.
Also, Japanese KFC is so fun. People go
Okay.
there for Christmas. That's true story. Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
Japanese KFC.
And Taco Bell finally came to Japan like 5 years ago, I guess. And it's fancy place. People go there
It's fancy in Japan.
to celebrate anniversary as well.
Is
Yeah.
it different? Is it like an upscale Taco Bell or is it
No,
the same?
same. But the service, customer service, as I said,
Customer is
so
God.
great. Yeah, customer. You can feel your God finally.
It must be so shocking
Mhm.
for a Japanese person to show up to Taco Bell here
Yeah.
and see two drunk workers fighting with a guy.
Yeah, I got
Over a-
shocked.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've seen more fights in Taco Bell between the employees and the customers, and
Yeah.
people screaming like, "Where's my fucking Crunchwrap Supreme?"
That's true. Yeah, that's
And like in Japan, everybody's going there for like anniversaries and birthdays.
Yeah.
You come here, you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Colonel Sanders, right? Like
Yeah.
the founder of
KFC.
KFC came to Japan. I read, and he cried. It was too tasty. His fried chicken was too tasty.
Colonel
in
Sanders
Japan.
cried.
Yeah,
He was like, "These guys figured it the fuck out."
yeah. That's why Japanese fried chicken is really great as
I
well.
love
Yeah,
Japanese
so
fried chicken.
That's why sometimes I gotta go back to Japan to go to KFC, Taco Bell, even Baskin Robbins over there is really clean and it's so great.
I love the idea of
Yeah.
like a family sitting down over a Crunchwrap Supreme to celebrate their grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, that's their actual supreme, actually. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's cool. It's just shocking to think about. Like, I mean, everything here is kind of trash. Like you go to McDonald's here, like you're not getting good experience. You know, you're getting your food,
Mm-hmm.
but you're never like, wow, this is excellent. You know,
When I came to America for the first time, I went to McDonald's, and yeah, I felt so happy about it. This is the real McDonald's, right?
Oh, it's more. It's yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess it started here, and I
Yeah.
mean, you could still get that stuff at Japanese McDonald's. You get a Big Mac or like a quarter pounder with cheese in Japan,
But
or is it all different menu?
but it's 1/8 pound, I guess.
Oh, it's smaller.
I mean, they said quarter pound,
Yeah.
but I feel like
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean,
America
that ain't
makes
a
me
quarter pound
full,
of beef.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just like a little disc.
yeah,
Ugh.
but it's so clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that would make me feel better about a lot of these restaurants too, if they were a little
No
bit cleaner.
dry band. No
Yeah.
dry bond. Yeah.
It's interesting, every city does like their health inspectors differently. Like I
Mhm.
like how they do it in New York, where they actually have to put the grade
Mm.
on the window. Like you notice how it says like A, like all right, here it's just like you passed, but you could have got it like a C minus.
Yeah.
You could have just passed.
That's why I stay away from McDonald's. I ain't got no health insurance here, bro.
Yeah,
That's
you can't
crazy.
risk
Yeah.
it. All right, we're at about 55 minutes. All right, we're gonna wrap it up in a
Yeah.
second. Real quick, I just gotta
Mhm.
talk about some dates.
Mm.
Austin, I am coming. This week actually, Thursday, January 25th, I will be headlining Creek and Cave.
Oh wow.
Saturday, January 27th, I will be headlining Roscoe's Comedy Club. Come hang out with me, and Justin will also be there, eating barbecue and yeah, yeah. That's what Justin will be doing. Saku, you have any projects or anything you want to talk about upcoming?
Nothing special.
Nothing
I get up
special?
on stage in Chicago, so please check out my Instagram, Saku Yanagawa. Saku Yanagawa is like a spelling bee, right?
Yeah.
If you can spell, it sounds like Hakuna Matata. Saku Yanagawa. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's spelled very phonetically, like how you think it would be.
Saku Yanagawa.
Yeah.
It's not
It's not
difficult,
hard, yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's an easy one. It's not like there's no hidden letters or like
Yeah.
the silent K's or
No.
nothing. It's just Saku
Saku
Yanagawa.
Yanagawa. That's easy.